What's up guys, Blake here with GuideToVaping.com, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the Innokin iTaste SD20.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, ignition, liftoff.
Now, for those of you that know Innokin, you know that they've been trying to keep their way up as far as the market goes. And what I mean by that is they're trying to incorporate new technology that many vapors are seeking. And for an example, with this iTaste SD20, they're actually using an Evolve chipset. And with this chipset, it happens to be one of Evolve's little babies, which is the DNA 20. And if any of you out there know about Evolve, you know that they started out with I think it was the DNA 12 on the Darwin years and years ago. Then I think they offered the DNA 30, then the DNA 40. But now they started to set back a little bit to offer manufacturers more options as far as wattage goes. And Innokin happens to be one of those manufacturers that took advantage of it. Now, furthermore, if any of you new vapors out there don't know about Evolve or their DNA chipsets, let me be the first to tell you that Evolve chipsets is classified one of the best out there on the market. And typically when you buy a device with an Evolve chipset, you're paying a premium price. Now, just to give you an example, the Relo RX200 by Wismic cost, I think you can get it for around 30 to 40 bucks. However, the Relo that has the DNA 200 chip cost around 200. So maybe that will give you an example of the type of quality you're going to gain from using a DNA chipset. Anyways guys, it's best if I just go ahead and dive down and give you a closer look so you can truly understand about this iTaste SD20 from Innokin. Alright guys, so you are looking at the Innokin iTaste SD20. As you can see up here at the left hand corner, we have the Innokin logo, while to the right side it says limited edition. And in the middle front of this box it says iTaste SD20 Variable Wattage Vaping System. But if we look to the bottom, it says powered by Evolve, which means this device has a Evolve chipset. And in this case, it is the DNA 20. Now at the bottom, you can see that we have just the Innokin logo. The top shows the same thing. On one side, it says iTaste SD20, but if you look closely at the bottom, you can see that it's marked that this is the silver version. Now, when we turn to the other side, you can see that it says iTaste SD20 again, and then the back says it once again, iTaste SD20 at the top. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see that they give you a little bit of information about this SD20 and then tell you the specifications. And as you can see, the specifications are that this battery is 2000 mAh. It's built in, of course. You have an input voltage of 3.2 volts to 4.3 volts, an output voltage of 2 volts to 6.3 volts, maximum output current of 6 amps, and then maximum output wattage of 5 watts to 20 watts, and then atomizer resistance 0.5 ohms to 3 ohms. And just to the side of that, you can see here that we have the Innokin technology serial number, which allows you to check the authenticity of this device. And the last thing regarding this packaging, we have a warning, which is at the bottom letting you know that you can only use this device if you are 18 or older, as well as a few others. Now, that's all that there is as far as the packaging, so let's jump into this box and see what we have. Now, before we get started unpacking this thing, I want to let you guys know that what is included in this box is an Innokin iTaste SD20 DNA 20 box mod. It has the skull doors pre-installed, and then it also comes with a pair of flat doors. Now, if you don't know what I mean by the doors, I'll get to that in just a minute when we look at the device. Anyhow, what also comes in this packaging is an Innokin Prism T22 tank, one micro USB charging cable, and one user manual. So now that you know what is actually in this box, let's get to opening it up and seeing what it all looks like. So first, let's pull out all the products. As you can see here, we have the Innokin SD20, and here we have the Prism tank. Now if you pull this foam piece up, You can see here we have the micro USB cable, and then we have an oddly shaped drip tip. Here we have those spare flat doors, some extra O-rings, then we have the SD20 user manual, and Innokin also shared 2 stickers. Alright, so the first thing we're going to look at, guys, is the Prism T22 tank. As you can see, we have the stainless steel drip tip here at the top, but at the same time, you'll also notice that this drip tip is not a wide bore. And with that being said, you can tell that this tank is for mouth-to-lung vapors. So for those of you that want to do lung hits, this will not be a tank for you. Now, the first thing that I want to point out is that this tank has a top fill design. So if you unscrew these threads here at the top, then you'll have access to pour your e-liquid from the top. And just to further some more information about this tank, as you can probably tell, it has a stainless steel construction. It uses Pyrex glass, giving you a visible sight all throughout the tank. This tank has a 4.5 mil e-liquid capacity, and it has a 22 millimeter diameter. Now, if you're looking for some features like adjustable airflow, you're not going to get it with this tank. In fact, the only way this tank gets its airflow is from the bottom. So it actually uses a design like older tanks, where there's an airflow hole here at the bottom, and that is how you get the airflow. So if you're wanting to change this coil, you'll actually unscrew the bottom. This ring right here will come off, and then you will pull out the coil. Now, one thing that I do want to note about this tank and coil is that it has a no spill coil swap system. So when you're replacing your coil, don't worry about actually spilling your liquid. One thing, because the liquid is filled from the top, and not to mention that cap comes off easily, so you can just pull your coil out of this tank. When you reinsert the coil or reinsert a new coil, this coil can only go a certain way. As you can see, it is squared off here and here, and then you can see where it's going to actually fit inside this tank. Now, to give you some information about this coil, as you can see, it has plenty of wicking holes, but what you must understand that this coil is a 1.5 ohm coil. So it was designed perfect for this device that only goes up to 20 watts. All right, so the next thing, guys, that we're going to look at is the actual SD20 from Innokin. So this is what the device looks like. As you can see, it's got these doors on here with the skulls on each side, and then on the control face you can see here we have the fire button, we have an OLED screen here, and then we have 2 adjustment buttons as well as a micro USB port. On the opposite side you can see that it says iTaste SD20, and then we have the Evolve logo. And then if you look at the top of the device, you can see that we have a 510 connection, and you'd probably like to know that these threads are stainless steel, and this 510 pin is gold plated brass and is also spring loaded. So the first thing that I want to tell you guys about this device is that it has a 2000 mAh built-in battery. It has a 1 amp maximum charge rate, and you can do that charging with the micro USB port here at the bottom. And as I already mentioned, this device uses the Evolve SD20 chipset, meaning you can range from 5 to 20 watts, and you have a resistance range of 0.5 ohms to 3 ohms. So let's go ahead and move on and actually turn this device on. So you just click that button one time, and then we're there, right there in the screen. As you can see, since it uses that Evolve chip, you know that you're going to get a nice looking OLED screen, just like all the other DNA chips. Now, the first thing I want to show you guys with this device is that once you press this fire button to vape, you're actually going to see this light up. See that button light up? But anyhow, you have basically the same setup as you do with any other DNA chip. And for those noobs out there, if you don't know what a DNA chip is, it is basically one of the most well-respected chipsets out there for devices. Now guys, this device really doesn't have many features. It wasn't made to have many features. It was basically just made to be a simple device that had a great chipset and that allowed you to go up to 20 watts. However, it does have one feature which allows you to lock this device. Simply hold up and down on these adjustment buttons, and then it locks. Hold it down again, and then it unlocks. Now, if you want to adjust your wattage, of course, you'll just press the adjustment buttons here, and it will allow you to range down to 5 watts. And if you want to take it up all the way, it will allow you to go up to 20 watts, which we were just at. Now, if you look at the bottom of the device and you look very closely, you can actually see that there's a part missing in this door. And this part is actually missing so that you can actually change the door. So if you don't like the whole theme of skulls here, which I don't really either, you can actually change it to use flat doors. So you'll just want to pull that edge up like so. And you can see that it's held on by magnets. Do the same thing to the other side. Like that. And then we'll open up this little baggie that came with this package. These are our flat doors, and all we have to do is simply place it here, and then you can simply turn the device and get your other door, snap it into place with those magnets, and then you've removed those skulls. Alright guys, so that is all there is to show you with the iTaste SD20. Let's take it up to some FaceTime and I'll show you how well it actually performs. Alright guys, so you just got a close look at the Innokin iTaste SD20. Now, I agree, it's not the most fanciest thing in the world. And also, the tank that it comes with isn't the best on the market either. And in addition to that, you're only getting 20 watts. But what you have to understand here is that you're not just getting a regular device that offers 20 watts. You're getting a device that has a DNA 20 in it, which we can say is more than what's being offered with any other 20 watt device. So all in all, this is a device meant for those newer vapors that vape at low wattages, and it will allow those new vapors to still get a premium type of vape. See, the DNA chipset is so glorified because of the vape that it offers. It honestly has one of the most consistent hits that you'll get from any device. And many will tell you it's also one of the most advanced as far as the chipsets goes in this market. However, the DNA 20 wasn't meant to be really advanced. It was just meant to offer you that nice consistent hit and 20 watts all in an affordable box. So that's basically what you get from the iTaste SD20, and if it suits you, then you're getting a hell of a deal. So with that being said guys, let's go ahead and move on and see how well the iTaste SD20 actually performs. So here we go. I have that coil in here. I have everything juiced up nice and ready to go. I'm at 15 watts here. Let's see how well she produces vapor. As you can see, the vapor production is decent. I'm not going to say it's great, but I mean, this is what you got to expect from a tank like this from Innokin. You have to understand, when you buy this kit, you're buying the device. You're not buying the tank. Because in my opinion, the tank isn't all that great. Anyways, that guys is at 15 watts with the Prism T22 tank. Now, if I took that up any more than 15 watts, I'm probably going to be getting a dry hit. So what I'm going to do is switch out this tank with a different tank that I use and let you see the difference, and also let you see the full potential of this SD20. Alright guys, so I switched out that tank and I put my Vengeance Mini on here. Now this Vengeance Mini is what comes with the Council of Vapor Mini Volt mod, and I have this set at 20 watts. Now, one thing you need to understand about this coil that's in this Vengeance Mini, it's a 0.8 ohm coil. Whereas where that Prism tank, it was a 1.5 ohm coil. So we're lower in resistance, and I adjusted the wattage up to 20 watts. Let's see how well it performs. So you can see here the vapor is not thick. However, because this tank has a lower resistance, I adjusted the wattage up, and also it has better airflow. You can see that it's more spread out. So guys, that's what you're going to get from this Innokin iTaste SD20. And as long as you're a vapor that vapes, 20 watts or below, and then this will be a fantastic mod for you. There's simply nothing like owning a device that has a DNA chip inside. So guys, if you want to pick up this iTaste SD20, then you can go to directvapor.com. If you enjoyed this video guys, make sure you smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. So until next time guys, vape on.